Usually I talk for much longer,
Okay.
like in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Try and
Okay.
get something for the intro.
Because
Just that part this time.
completely understandable. There's a topic she brought up about which
I'm joined today by my old friend.
and she brought up a couple of things. So basically, if you wanted to, we could pick one of the fun-loving ones, and if not, we could do
At SUNY
a
Potsdam.
postpartum.
If I'm not there, I would say probably go for the postpartum one because I don't know what I would.
We need a less squeaky.
I would say sure.
When we have
I would
those
say so.
mics, it's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah. I actually played the umbilical cord.
Did you?
Yeah.
So it was kind of like more of like a bass or like a.
It was like a bass, yeah.
Yeah. Unless you had a tiny umbilical cord, but it looked pretty healthy.
Off the top of my head, I wouldn't really know what to.
But yes, Gabe is with
Yeah.
me today.
So,
and we're gonna talk
okay.
a little bit about his music
Um,
career and
Let's do the episode, and then we can decide after if we want to do a pre-roll thing.
we're gonna have fun. So, Gabe,
You. Read us in, gay boy.
What is music? It's whatever you want it to be.
Oh, yeah?
It can be. That doesn't mean it's always good, though. It can be whatever you want it to be, but that does not mean it has to be good.
Why is this table so squeaky? I'm about to lose my mind.
Yeah, but that
Stop
could be
it.
good.
Oh, my gosh. This table is ridiculous.
There you go.
Right.
And that's no.
have you seen the YouTube
Welcome
video for the
back to the My Life
Yeah.
Your Life Together podcast with
that the guy who
truly,
did that has his band.
Big
and,
Daddy Wayne
they like record things
and Mr. Sexy Coffee.
live and
That's
whatever,
Zach
and then they
and
use
Zach.
typewriters and stuff like that.
Today,
for a lot of their sounds.
We are doing
Yeah.
our Q&A
Yeah.
episode. We posted it and several people responded.
Lay down.
Gave us lots of good questions. We posted asking
Yeah,
for
you lay down.
question topics. Some are serious, some are goofy,
so
some are somewhere in between,
First
some are weird.
interaction.
I'm only, I didn't expect any strangers to submit questions, but I am kind of sad that no strangers just asked a random question.
But like,
There's anonymous.
Yeah.
I realized
We'll get to that one.
Okay, I didn't read that.
You didn't read that one? Okay. It's not quite anonymous. I actually, as soon as I got the question, I texted the person and called him a name.
I held back a little
So-
bit.
So,
I held back a little bit.
Today, we're gonna go through these questions.
No, well,
that
doing
people have sent
doing
in.
plays is different. Like you have a lot of adrenaline because you have so much to remember. So like in my brain, I'm just
I'm
like
so excited.
I have to like remember so much. So I just go up there so nervous that my adrenaline just pushes me.
I'm so flippin' excited. One thing I will say, I think we should do this like a couple times a year.
You can do a lot
Because
of
like this,
yeah.
because
did you ever forget anything or screw up? Because I
I think the more we
Oh,
do it, maybe more
1000%.
questions will pop up. But like,
Yes, I did.
these are hilarious.
Yes, I did.
Like Zach said, some of them are
There
serious.
is
Some
literally at least one thing I
of them are
forgot
normal,
every
and
single
some of
show.
them
There's no way I
I'm
did it
actually genuinely
100%.
concerned for the well-being and mental state of the people who asked them.
Unless people are, like there were some people.
Sir?
Unless like if it was like alumni.
Do you
Some
feel
of the
safe in
alumni,
your
if
own
they
head?
know the show, they'd be like, "Yeah."
'Cause
that
I
was messed
don't.
up. But I like to think that
This
I
episode is
handle
brought to you
like
by Long Island Iced Tea.
hiding it very well. Like I like to hide it very well. So
Particular brand.
Captain
I
Morgan.
get by.
think so. So that's high school. You were like, I want to do. You knew you wanted to do music.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
we could say, you
From a
know,
while,
because some
like,
people
sixth
did
grade,
it,
I wanted to teach
did
band,
put in
but
more
I've
than one question. Some
transferred
people
more into
didn't
the
put their
choir
name. Some
version
people have
stuff. So
chosen to
I'm
go
gonna teach
under
choir
a
instead.
different name, even though I'm
Yeah.
fairly certain I know who the people are.
I have 2 more years left.
Said they would submit questions.
Yeah,
Masters, I have to get it within 5 years of teaching
Thank you
or something like that.
for noticing
So-
that.
They're not there.
Yes.
So yeah, so like this
yeah.
when I start teaching at a
Without-
job within
bad-
5 years, I have to get a
bad-
master's involved with
Bad.
music. So I may try to
Bad.
get that done after
Okay.
my
Okay.
bachelor's pretty
Okay.
soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lead us off.
And I think I got the chronological
Hey,
order
if
of
the apocalypse
releases
happens,
down
you got,
pretty
like-
good.
Yeah, you did.
Nobody wants to live through the apocalypse anyway.
Listen,
No.
listen.
No.
My personality, I'm like, all right, survivalist, let's go.
Or did you
become,
was it like
you know,
shortly after?
No. Just send.
No,
just send
I-
me to
I
heaven.
remember you released
the first two,
Idiot.
actually, Strong Together
Dumb.
as well, I also released
Yeah.
when I was at the church.
Uh,
But those three I was at the church during.
Releasing them, and I was like, yo, these are awesome. And like, they're still good, don't get me wrong. But like, after I was listening to a new album, like, it was like the production quality has obviously gotten so much better.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if I look at the worst part, I don't really understand the underrated worst part because I don't think anybody underrates. I don't know. I get what he's trying to say, but I'm confused. I'm just dumb. But the worst part, I mean, would either be the financial aspect or just
Yeah.
how hard everyday life is sometime. Like just having to do, hold on, I
Yeah.
can't drive yet because my blood sugar's low.
Yep.
And if I get into an accident, even though I probably won't,
Yeah.
if I do,
Yeah.
that's bad news bears for my license. So that's what I would say it is for me. But
2018.
like right
so what
now,
is
my
that?
diabetes is under
5 years
control.
ago?
I'm handling it well, but I'm still
Yeah.
paying
It's
hand
15.
over fist for care.
Baby
in this
Dave,
country. So
15.
I'd have to go with right
releasing
now.
songs. I actually
as
deleted
a
those two
30-year-old
songs off
diabetic.
my-
It would be financial.
my, music.
Financial burden.
I might redo them, but I still have the files. So like you were saying,
Yeah.
because you, yeah,
So if anybody wants to hear the original track, I will sell you my iPhone.
Financial.
there you go,
3,000.
perfect.
Brian also tagged a
That's fine.
question.
Because I might
Myself.
redo them. I might.
Zach and some
I,
enemies.
I don't know.
Like,
I started releasing more, and I got Strong Together.
and
like, recorded,
Brian,
and I
I
was
think,
like, I just
has
want
the
a
best
fresh start.
record in the league right
And
now.
because the production quality from The Reason and Strong Together was
He's
already
so cool.
so massive. So then I was like,
Listen,
let's just get rid of these. And I was, that was
I had Justin Jefferson.
I
had
honestly
Kyron Williams,
wish I kept
both
them up.
injury
But,
reserve.
like you were
Kyron
saying,
Williams
now
injury reserve out of
when I write
nowhere.
a new
Thank you a
song,
lot
like, I
for
just
nothing,
wrote
Sean
a new song not so
McVay.
long ago, and I'm mixing
Idiot.
it.
And I just had underperformers and
I can play it
injuries,
for
and
you.
every time I pick up somebody, they get injured.
I listen
and-
to that, and then if
and
I'm
for
judging
everyone to
myself
understand,
too hard,
it's
I
a
literally go
8-man
back
league, so
to
if you
The
score
Reason
less
and
than
listen to it and be
110
like,
points a
yeah,
game, like you're gonna,
what am I doing?
you have
I'm
no shot at
perfectly
winning,
okay.
so. This is his first time fantasy football. Yeah. And what's your realization that players get injured all the time?
Exactly. No, exactly.
But I mean, that's the point of like
I did not realize how often
professional,
people
which
get
is
injured.
your end game.
Also, I'll say this: like, I'm
Yeah.
a football fan, but I'm a fan of like my team, so I know all the players on my team.
Go Kansas City
That would be
Chiefs.
sick. That would be sick. I'm ready. We're gonna do it. It's gonna happen.
But well, I
So,
knew
like,
about the
2020
NFL and players in the NFL as a whole. So when I drafted, I realized I know my team, but I don't
After
know
Strong Together,
Yeah.
great, but my manager.
Probably the best in the league.
I went from being
On the bottom.
projected to end up sixth to now I'm third in the league, and some of the
Yeah.
people that were projected to be like first. Or
third grade.
second.
Hi.
You've been listening since
It's
third.
me.
Well,
The problem, it's me.
I enjoy playing jazz so much. I just haven't played in a while.
projected to be top, and they both have worse records. They have exact opposite records.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
So
list
yeah,
them.
our teams
I play tenor
aren't
sax,
so bad. You're just dumb.
Guitar that fills
How's
bass,
that?
electric, and acoustic.
Because you
Yeah. And then
has had like
I do know ukulele.
50-point games.
And then
Not to harp
piano.
on fantasy football, but do you remember that
I'm not
one
gonna
time
say
Brian
voice,
offered you
but
AJ
my
Brown for
professor at
Devontae
school would
Smith
be
and
like,
you told
"Voice is
him
the
no?
instrument," so I
How
probably
dumb
should
do
say
you
that.
feel?
Absolutely like an idiot.
Like stupid
It's
dumb
not.
head
I mean, the
idiot
way
face?
that we do it at school is like very
yeah.
classical, so I'm having to sing
Yep.
operatically.
Yep.
I'll put it that
Yep.
way. So that takes
Wow.
operatically.
Yeah. That's got to make you feel
That'd be
great.
fun. I love that.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I
All right. What's next?
No, that's kind of where I'm at. I mean,
Yeah, I had to check. them all as we go.
I'm doing. I have all of those, and then what I'm trying to do is just better each one of them at the same time, which is hard to balance. So like right now, I'm on my guitar like kick right now. When at school, I'm normally in my piano kick, but right now I'm on my guitar kick, buying new amp, buying new pedals, buying new guitars, all that fun jazz stuff.
ran for president.
So those are the instruments I play.
So
but there's many more I want to learn. I really want to learn trumpet well, like not just like learn trumpet.
Yep.
I want to actually be pretty okay in trumpet. And drums, it's just one of those things that takes a lot of coordination. And if you can have it, it's really helpful to just know how to play drums. So that's where I'm at.
So walk me through, because I don't want to talk about your music. It's your music.
Okay.
Walk me through. It was the 4 songs that you released.
But it's called the Helldivers series, and so it is
Mm-hmm.
apocalyptic.
So walk me through those. Like somewhere over the rainbow, you woke up one morning and like the big Hawaiian dude woke up one morning. And like, I'm gonna write this song. You were like 2 a.m.
I wish I was just as good as that guy, because that song is so big. But so this was
Or him
right
with
after
40K
COVID happened.
novels.
When we were all just sitting inside, I was getting so bored.
Yeah, like I started with like
so,
the Blood
like,
Angels.
I
Were just
I
always
was
my
starting to
favorite
listen to
faction.
songs.
So like,
And so Summer of the Rainbow, it just kind of reminded me,
could
like,
always
I mean,
read-
because COVID
could always
sucked.
read anything.
That whole, like,
Warhammer,
everyone
Space
just staying
Marine
inside.
related.
I couldn't hang out
Blood
with,
Raven.
I mean, I don't have that many friends, but I
Three
couldn't
Books of
really
Bones.
hang out with one
Killer.
of them or 2 of them because you have to stay inside. So Summer of the Rainbow, I mean,
No,
it's, you think about it, the actual
friend used to read 'em a lot.
story of
He's
Summer
read
of the Rainbow is something on the other side that's going to be there,
Um,
right? And it's kind of that,
yeah,
that's
see,
why I
that's the
wanted
thing,
to do that
like,
song.
so
It's,
far behind now.
where's the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow right now, right? Because it was really tough in the beginning of COVID. So I wrote that song, basically just, I didn't write that song, sorry. I covered that song. Yeah, I had fun with that one. I mean, there's,
Oh,
the
okay,
thing is
yeah,
with
yeah,
music is like, I'll put it out there and then I'll listen to it like 2 weeks later and I'm like, I wish I changed that. And it happens so much. And it's like, even now, like on Summer of the Rainbow, I wish I did things differently with the sax, but it's cool because if you listen to them, it shows the progression of how far I've come through writing and mixing and stuff like that.
And then that's the only 2 I've listened to recently. And I'm trying to listen to more like independent podcasts. I've followed a lot on Instagram recently, and I've been slowly working through some of their episodes. Kind of just to figure out what works for them and see if I can incorporate it, make this a little better. But in terms of like big podcasts, It's Always Sunny podcast, and then Smartless with Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and why do I always forget the other guy's name? Sean. I kind of feel it. But the concept of that podcast is they started it during COVID, and they each have a guest on, and like one person brings on a guest per episode, but it's a surprise guest. So yeah, but you know, it's fun. It's just fun. I mean, you have 3 like comedic powerhouses on a podcast.
No,
bringing in
it
a
was a lot of
guest that's
fun.
Sometimes a
And then
comedic powerhouse and
walking through
sometimes
the other songs like
not,
Hostage.
but it's great.
That was me and Brianna. We did it at a Brunswick Queens, like,
you turned me onto that.
what's it called? I guess I'll call it a cabaret. It was like an open mic thing that we did with the school. We did that song, and throughout COVID, I was like, let's just record it. And she was like, okay. So we did that, and so then we did to Strasbourg, Saint Denis. This song is one of my favorites. He says it, Saint Denis. Greenlight is the band that covered it. So the band is me, my brother, my best friend Jake, my other really close friend Will, and then my former teacher Christopher Rollins. He played drums. So we did that at Schenectady's community college studio.
Gerard Butler?
So that one was a lot of fun. I played sax on that one. That was a big project that we did, and I really liked how that came out. Obviously, I wish I could change things, but it's really fun to like hear those things that we can fix, you know? Yep. No, we haven't, because we did this through COVID, so yeah. Well, the funny thing is Strasbourg actually was recorded, now that I'm thinking about it, it was recorded in October or November of 2019, and we were just mixing and fixing, and then finally we were like, all right, we can release it now because we had nothing to do, so we had plenty of time to Mitch.
It's not like the news that we know it
So
today.
we released it then. I would love to do it with them at some point, but we're all kind of spread out and doing our own thing. So
Yeah.
that's how it goes.
I like a lot of the guests that he has on. He tries to take on.
Yeah, right on Halloween actually. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gives me Halloween vibes.
It does.
All right.
Yeah. No, I just decided I've never done a Christmas song, so I
Where
said,
we heading now, boy?
let's do it. I like it, but it's there's I'm gonna basically what I'll
This
say
house?
is I want to
No.
do another Christmas song or album in the future that will be
The two
more
dogs?
me.
No.
Yeah. Christmas is the best.
That's a great
It's
question.
The best.
Before we
Nothing
started,
like
before we started the podcast, I actually told Zach
Right
a
now.
story of like, I want that. So worst thing I ever spent money on. I'm trying to think of big purchases, but there's always those little things. Like, oh, it's $5, $10. I'll get that, and then like, it's not worth the $10. That could have had a cheeseburger.
I feel like I'm generally pretty good. Like, I'll get ideas of all this stuff that I'm like, ooh, I should buy. But then I generally slow down and I'm like, okay, let's start looking at reviews. Do I actually need this?
Nope.
I'd say
Yeah, if you go on Apple Music and you see
when
a
I
song
first
called "You
became
Must Be
a
Crazy,"
police officer,
that
it
is
was very
not
much
a
like,
Gabe
oh,
Morris
blue
song.
line, and so I just went and like bought a ton of the like
It's all right.
Moto,
It's not
like
Gabe
blue
Morris,
line,
It's not me.
everything, like T-shirts.
Did you ever think about changing, like,
hats,
giving yourself like a
stuff
moniker
like
or
that,
something
which is
to go by?
No.
Which is funny because then I was like, I was a
Mm.
cop. I'm not wearing out any.
Listen, if I was as good as
Yeah.
Prince,
That I was.
maybe I could do Prince too.
I bought a bunch of blue line stuff.
And just yeah, he's dead.
Okay, so by this point you've released 7 songs, unless I'm bad at math, but it actually looks like 8 songs.
I mean-
so, dear God, I am bad at math. Oh wait, no, that's just 7.
It's gonna be anticlimactic,
I'm great at math.
but honestly, like, no, like
It's okay.
as
We
a
all are, it's
teenager,
So you released 7 songs.
probably sports jerseys. I have so many sports jerseys, and I haven't worn any of them hardly ever.
Did you like earlier? You said you knew you wanted to be in music since like
Bite me.
3rd grade or 6th grade or whatever. Like, was it already?
Houston Rockets, Atlanta Falcons, Manchester United, Zenit St. Petersburg, Portugal.
Yeah. So I mean,
Um,
even as a young kid,
one of Arsenal's
I-
third kits from a few
like,
years ago.
I
It
would
was,
just
like,
play
nice
the
and
piano
purple
here
and
and there, just
black.
like touch the
Oh, it
keys
was a
and
sick
figure out
kit.
stuff.
But yeah, I just
Yes,
I don't
we had a very
wear
very
that much,
old
and honestly, I don't
upright
even think
piano
new any of them anymore.
in like this downstairs back.
So we're
like,
gonna restart and just start
in
with some
batch
Kansas
storage.
City Chiefs gear and go up
an
from there.
upright piano. You gotta know what an upright piano is.
Is this your
It's a
official,
piano, but
announcement that I've inverted?
yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
sure,
a
why
piano.
not?
I'm gonna just take out a
I'm a
picture
Chiefs
because I'm
fan
not
now,
gonna try to
everybody.
explain it.
Let's go.
Okay, I will
Thank you,
explain it
thank
for
you,
the
thank you,
listeners.
thank
It is a piano that
Um,
has the you know how a
let's
big
get-
grand piano, it's spread out. That is tilted
I know, I
up,
like this one. This
so
one will
it's
be
tilted
easy.
90
We don't have to
degrees up.
pontificate.
So then it's
Favorite
this
recent
way, so it's
musical
up.
album?
Right.
Mine is Lord of the Flies and Birds and
Yeah,
Bees.
so that's
by
an
artist named
upright
Talk.
piano.
It's all caps, Talk.
No, you're good.
I just
Yeah.
stumbled upon
Yeah,
his music
so-
a few months ago, and then this album
Yeah.
came out.
No, you're fine.
It's a vibing album.
So I don't remember what I was saying.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna let you.
Oh,
I don't know that I have
yes. So we had that upright piano, and I would just. So we had the upright piano, and I would. I just know you have the urge to say it. So I used to play that piano
That you like country music.
at my old house, and it was little things,
fine.
not anything
That's
crazy.
fair.
Hey, but
hey.
I had,
So
like,
those are your
it was-
artists you've been vibing with lately.
3rd grade or 4th grade, I started like writing my own like songs in my head. I don't have them anymore,
Okay.
and they were very terrible. But I used to like write these little tiny, like, I would call them poems. It's like basically a song. So I knew I wanted to write music. Then at this point, I have released those 7 songs that you stated, and I was still just doing it as a hobby because it's not even like I was trying to get attention for those. It was when I started writing music for my album that I
spent years
released
playing
that I
Guild
was
Wars,
like,
and one of my
this is
guildmates was
kind
called
of
Dan
like
the Muffin
actually
Man, and we
getting
lived in
somewhere
Texas.
that's cool for me that I think I could
Texas.
actually do stuff with.
The Muffin Man. No, I don't know the real Muffin Man. All right.
Yeah. So because I had like I have this note sheet in my phone and it's just
I'm
like
gonna knock.
it's
I'm gonna
literally just,
knock
like,
this
things
one
I
out
want
of
to
the way right
accomplish.
now.
And I
Why
had
is
singles
relaxing
out,
in
and
jeans
one of the things
so
was
great?
just write
Whoever
an
sent
album.
that in, you're a
And I
psychopath.
never
It's
did it
not
yet.
great.
So I was like,
and you
this
should
is
probably
the
seek some
time
form
for
of
me to do
counseling.
it.
Number
I
10.
stopped writing music really for a while.
Why is relaxing in jeans so great?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Whoever
I
said that
ended
is
up
a
writing.
psychopath.
I released a single.
Or like sweatpants.
I literally
in
just hang out in my house in my underwear.
2021. That
'Cause I'm
was
hot all the time, so
called
why I put
Fallen.
clothes on.
I wrote that, and that really
All right,
just
your turn again.
spiked my like. Okay, you can kind of do this a little bit. So, thank you. I liked that one. That one I worked really hard on. That was right when I went to college. We wrote that, and me and my brother. So it was
Exactly.
fun to
If
do
you
that
relax in
song.
jeans,
But
you're a
that was when
psychopath.
I went to college, first year, and it was tough doing college because it was still during those like COVID things. At the time, it was also figuring out relationship stuff. So it's like, it's a lot of work. So I wrote that song, and it was my outlet for like a year. I worked a lot on that one. But it wasn't just me; it was my brother too. But yeah, he masters all my music, and he mixed my music, and now I'm
What is that,
mixing and
number
he's
28?
mastering right now. So
What's a question
Yeah.
you wish someone asked you?
NGM
Not would
Productions.
ask.
That's our name. Yeah.
What question?
Oh, all the time.
Maybe
That's
I
why
typed
I'm
it
mixing
down.
and he's mastering.
What's a question you wish someone asked you? Okay,
Me.
yeah, you're right.
If I wrote the song,
You wish
but
someone.
I
you
do
wish someone
take his
would-
words in.
You wish.
I have
oh my
another
God.
friend of mine that's also gets his
Watch out,
opinions in, which is good. It's just those.
I don't.
I'm learning to accept
know,
those
man,
opinions,
like-
and his opinions matter, and they do help. So, yeah.
Do you want $1 billion? Is that a viable answer? I wish somebody would ask me that, but I guess then they could just be asking me it and not have the means to fulfill it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
This is weird because then I have to like think of my own question, and then nobody's asking me. I'll just answer my own question.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's how it is.
I
You
wish
get mad a
someone
little bit
asked
in those 3
me.
seconds because it's like you're the one that's doing a lot of the creative stuff. Yes. So
I don't
then
know.
when
I'm gonna have to
when
come
you're
back to
told
that one.
like that you need to change it, it's like, no, I'm doing this. And then you realize you were right. Sorry.
And like for her, it started out as like a joke that she was the executive producer, but she kept calling herself that, so I just like kept giving her things to do. And now she's legitimately executive producer.
What? Number 13. The second number 13, if you will.
Yeah.
13 the sequel. What would both of you do for a job if you could have any job you wanted? This. Yeah, if I could podcast for my job, that'd be
Yeah.
great.
Everybody should have that.
Yeah.
Or like
It's pinned too, so it's on the top.
I had like for a while, I had like things to accomplish.
Question. That was also from Michaela. Michaela, you're asking very great questions. You had two about one about the president and about this. That was great.
And then once I started getting that like a little bit more under control,
Your jaw just dropped at a question, so now you have to read it.
I saw the one.
it's not
Again, good question.
I don't want to call it like
Although could
because that's
Could,
like, things to do.
stir
like,
some
Yeah.
skydiving would be on a bucket list.
some
Yeah.
interesting responses from family members.
Right now, I have things like
For
the
Thanksgiving
podcast,
dinner,
basically, that I
if you
wanna
could
accomplish.
trade one family member for one celebrity,
Have Jack Black on
who would it be?
as a guest.
That'd be the best. Oh my.
I would trade
Oh
my
my.
entire family for
That'd be the
Thanksgiving
best.
dinner with Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Like if he sent me an
needs
Instagram
to
message and
happen.
was like, "Hey, I want you to come down to my home and have Thanksgiving with me and my family, I'd be like, okay, I'd leave Lex up here with her family. If it was only me, I'd be down there in a heartbeat.
Just things in life. A lot of them are about music, but that's
100%. No remorse. That's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
It's the same thing because I was going through a lot of just like anxiety and
part of me wanted to do like
depression at this time. So it's
Michael
like
Scott
March
from The Office. What did he say?
This last March, I said
I forget one of the kids' names.
Write down what I want to do, and it's
and
those. These are like the main goals, but then I'm just in my brain figuring out those little baby step and proud moments to have before that. And a lot of them are just like, do this album, do this album, do this album. So
this part's not.
I encourage everybody to write down goals.
I just enjoy Chris Pratt. I love him in Parks and Rec. I love him in the
They don't even have to be big.
All right, so for which family member?
Like one of them was like, "Don't freak out before noon."
Yeah.
I remember writing that down.
Yeah. Exactly.
So walk me through. Well, you don't have to
Who's gonna get mad?
and run me through with a sword. No.
This part's not going to say, but that's why I answered it how I did. Because I immediately texted Brian and Michaela because she did it in a text, and I was like, "Oh, I'd swap out my mom for The Rock." And I was like, I can't ask it because but then I realized I could say my whole family. So we can resume the podcast with you saying my answer if you want to, except with Chris Pratt.
I was gonna say, I might have to steal your answer.
Because I'm sure it was probably a little bit of both.
There's a lot to it. So, like I mentioned, that I was writing. I wrote those 7 songs, and then I realized, oh wow, I liked that I'm doing this. So I wrote "Fallen," and at that point, before that, I wrote another song called "Sisters and Brothers." Well, "Sister and Brothers."
This is a confusing question, but I'm just curious.
So "Enjoy the Journey"
Your answer would be
is my
number
life
23.
For the last 2 years.
What mammal?
It's chronological of how the songs were
would
written.
You choose? Does that mean as a pet?
You have
as
"Sister and Brothers" that was recorded in
a weapon,
September of 2021.
Yeah,
I think, or 2020, and then September of 2020 it was recorded.
I would take the
stuff
Scorpion
like that.
King.
So it's a chronological order album,
spider?
which was a cool idea. I was like, it's different than just like people releasing an album. This is my life in order of the last 2 years.
Play it right. All right.
So that's kind of what I went with.
It's a different mammal. I don't have to pick a type of spider, do I? Because that's just too.
I was going through Butterflies was the 3rd song on the album.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Spider Pig too. Why not? For somebody who's got 3 pigs tattooed on his arm, he has to pick Spider Pig.
Ex-girlfriends, but my shell was that there was like the pulls, the pushes and pulls of the relationship, trying to get through it, and didn't work out, which is totally okay.
Yeah.
So then "I'm the Boy" came on my own, start over. So the inspiration was I was struggling post-relationship.
Oh wait, it's your turn. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And so what I ended up doing is I said, I've written all these songs in the last 2 years of my life. I've had good moments, I've had bad moments, and that's how life goes.
See, you're not even ready.
Let's put it into an album of the order of how it went. And "Sister and Brothers" starts off saying, like, this is my family. Fallen, fell for a girl. And Butterflies, stuff like that. And my shell starts to see some issues with me, not just like issues that just happen.
I forgot
and then it just keeps going on.
I forgot to space them apart. That's my bad.
So
that's what happens.
I was
So my wife
at college,
our executive producer is currently out of state, and so this is what happens when
my
she's
mom
not here to
just
help
said,
me.
"Gabe, you just need to enjoy the
I
journey."
screw up her entry.
There it is.
But go ahead, ask the first.
So
one.
I give credit to my mom for that.
They don't go together. Or ask whichever one you want.
But no, I mean it's true. Like we all go through things in our life, but
those
little tiny moments you have to enjoy. Like this journey that I went through,
you'll win too.
I'm a completely different person out of it, and I'm happy who I am now. And it's like even before that, because COVID was going on, I was honestly like the amount of anxiety that I actually had, and like my mental stability was not there. Finally realizing where I'm supposed to be was really helpful for me. So I've enjoyed the journey, and then I was like, then people also can enjoy my journey by just listening. So it was a fun
See,
concept
I mean,
that I tried.
we're talking about a dream vacation.
So that was my
I'm-
idea.
I'm thinking
of
like-
the album.
A month or 2-month trip around Europe.
It's,
Like backpack.
I'm the Boy is my favorite.
Not
song.
no, not backpack. Like yeah, like if it's a dream vacation. If it's a dream vacation, so I'm talking like
That's a
take the train from everywhere. I'm getting driven around, so I don't have to drive in these foreign countries. I want to visit everywhere over in Europe, so I'd love to hit up like soccer matches in England and
Go see a Manchester United game.
yes,
live.
yes, that's definitely it. That's an achievable goal. Not a 2-month trip around Europe. I don't think that'll
Stizzle.
unless I podcast full time and I get to do live shows with you around the country. Wow, how wild would that be?
This song's awesome. You have to get who is this for whatever reason I didn't think of it. And so like share.
If all of our listeners
Yeah.
just got one listener, and then they all got one listener.
In 9
This
years.
album's banging.
Yeah. But that's a great. I mean, so do you want to alter your dream vacation answer? Like, do you want to think more big picture?
It would be like Ireland, Scotland, like seeing all these cool places.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That's like.
Yeah.
There's other places that I would like to see too, but
Yeah.
that would be like my main thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the question I was going to ask before I cut Zach off was, will you get me
did.
another drink? No. Number 24.
They are. They are.
And it's a question I've been wanting to do with you for a while because it was in my teaser episode, which came out almost 5 months ago at this point. I think it came out in July.
So once
June? Oh, yeah, it
it's
came out
weird.
in June because July was
I
a real
put
episode.
Enjoy the Journey out,
So
and
what made you guys
all
want
of
to
my
start
anxiety,
a podcast?
all
what
of
made
my,
Zach
like-
Jenkins want to join?
like
So-
depression at the time,
I mean, what made me
literally
want to
disappeared.
start it is
because I poured all of it
I
into that
wanted a
album.
hobby.
Once it was
I needed
posted,
a hobby.
write an album. Do it.
I've
Use
wanted to
this.
for
This is yours.
a couple
This is
years, but
Are
I
you
figured
actually?
it would fail and nobody would listen. And then the
Oh, we
the
gotta
more I
talk
got
about
my anxiety under control, the more I
We gotta talk
realized
about
that failure is
Right
just,
after I posted
failure
that
is
album,
not attempting
my
it.
mental health
in the
just
face of adversity.
skyrocketed up, and,
And
I just
I mean,
I let
don't
go.
think it's
Like,
failure at all.
that
We get,
was
like,
my way of letting
usually
go
around
of
50,
what my
60
troubles were
listens
for
an
that time.
episode.
So like letting that
Above
out,
that on
I was
some of the
just
more
like, all
popular
right, we're
ones.
ready now. Like this is the world. Let's go for it. And
But yeah, I did it because
So,
I wanted a hobby and
I was writing
figured
a
I could
lot
use it
of
as a platform
just love
to
songs
meet
because
with
I ended
people,
up
talk
doing
about
that
things I've never
when I
talked
was
about or talk
sad.
about things I'm
So
passionate about.
I said,
And then
we're gonna put another.
Zach
We're gonna put an EP
Jenkins.
out.
I think it's going to realize that you
I
were
know
still
that
19 to
it was
20
actually a long time before
Yeah.
we started the podcast.
Yeah, I was 19. Yeah.
When my wife and I were still dating.
Yeah.
There's one time we were all like hanging out, and you and I joked. We joked
You wanna
about
finish that?
starting a podcast.
We did. He didn't know I wasn't joking though.
Yeah, because I was like, yeah, that'd be a fun idea. Like,
Was that when I broke the chair at your house? No, because you lived up. You lived up here. Yeah,
Jared, come on.
I forgot about that.
No, that was.
mental
I
state was a little bit better?
we
Or
were
was
out
it
at
just
like
a
a
different
restaurant.
It was a different vibe. I
It might have
mean,
been Browns.
Yeah.
I mean, all of those songs are like, they're not about anyone.
And like, I always thought like,
For yeah, I because I didn't. There was not a single person that I was really writing for. I just it was on my mind. It was like I would see other people living a life or living something that I wanted, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna write a song. One of the songs, "Be Mine," honestly, all right, that one was for someone, but "Be Mine" was literally sounds weird. I walked into the dining hall at college, and there was a girl that I thought that was really cute, and so I went back and I literally wrote "Be Mine," and it just happened. But that's the only one that it's a. I don't know her name. Still don't.
run the show and do ideas.
Yep. It is.
He waited until I bought all the equipment.
Beautiful Today is
and
my favorite
Spent most of the money up front before he decided.
No,
to
I'm
sign
serious.
on.
Those are my favorite.
That's fine.
It's something about the space that it creates with the
need
the
a
little
drink.
tiny end solo stuff. It's very just spread out and mellowed down. There's not too much going on. There's not enough going on. It's just it works. But yeah, it was a different vibe. I mean, I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say I was any happier. I wrote "I'm the Boy" in literally 2 days. It just happened. It just happened, and then I mixed it for 2-3 months, and it just when it happens, it happens. That's how it works. And but "Love Songs Forever" was really fun. I went very acoustic. It's all acoustic. And so like learning how to mix with the acoustic stuff and spreading it out was really fun. It was a new mixing process for me. And I mean, I always love learning. Like, I think that's why I want to be a teacher too, is because I love learning things. I'll learn anything. It's going to be fun, but it's also like, it's tough right now too.
I mean, it's important to remember, like, you are.
Wow. They really went down.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. But you also
Well, it's 'cause the one started
got to think about those things, because some people don't, and then they don't go where they want to be. If you don't have
Fair.
goals, you just float, and I
believe
don't
it's-
want to float.
I believe it's your question, Senor Yak.
Las Vegas and visit them. And be like, all right, guys, what's the plan? And like for a while, it was like, on vacation, we don't have a plan. But then he's like, nothing gets accomplished without a plan. And that's so true. Like if it's true for vacation, it's gonna be true for your life. It's gonna be true for music or.
You finally got.
choose that one.
I'll.
What's next? You're currently writing
This
music.
one's
I'm
gonna be
assuming you
really
never
hard
stop
for me to
writing music.
answer.
Uh-oh.
Like whether it's in your head, like not like seriously.
Only
Like,
choose one to
I'm
watch
sure
for the rest of
ideas
your life.
and creativity
Marvel,
just kind of
DC,
from you at all
Lord of the
times.
Rings,
Do you have
Harry
plans
Potter,
for
or
next
Star
album,
Wars.
or just maybe a single or
There's
two?
one I can rule right off.
Yeah, I mean, I listen. It comes off of what I'm listening to. So right now, I'm listening to a lot of Noah Kahan.
No,
I'm also listening
like
to.
DC Universe shows.
Yeah, I'm
movies.
always listening to Talio, which I think
I
you
do
know
like
Talio.
them. I love
Always
DC
listening to them.
comics. Like they're always one special.
I'm
But
listening to
if
a
we're
lot
talking
of
about
Mario
watching,
Posen
I
and
definitely got to
Corey
rule that
Wong.
one out too.
Like I'm listening to a lot of this like funk, rock, blues stuff. So that's kind of the next realm I'm looking at, is doing a kind of bluesy stuff.
I feel like I want to give
It
two
takes
answers
a lot of
for
time.
this.
But yeah, to answer your question,
Because,
I mean, I was
like,
driving
which is
to
my favorite to
work
watch?
the other day.
The
and
answer's
I
Harry
literally
Potter.
ended up writing
I will watch
3
Harry Potter,
song titles down.
all the movies,
because I was
once
like,
a
we're gonna
month
write a
if,
song about
if
that
you want
title.
me to.
And I just,
But
because they popped in my brain.
There's a
My voice
limitation
memos
on them. So
take
for the
up
rest
most
of my
phone
life,
space on my phone. So
I mean, I can't imagine they'd
I
ever
wish I
get
was okay.
boring, but
That's limited
they
by that.
probably would. But by the time I hit, 87,
Yeah.
88 or so. So
Hot take.
do I hedge
All of his
my
music
bets
sounds
and be
the
like,
same.
well, now I got to pick stuff with the most content and really space
Tell
it
me I'm
out.
wrong.
Because Marvel, you're talking
Yeah.
the cartoons, you're talking the MCU, you're talking about the shows. So it's
I mean, don't you get bored of it? Listen to Hamilton 3 times and then tell me you don't get bored of it.
I love it phenomenally.
Oh, that's sad. I can't even get through it once. It's 40 songs.
But
I mean, I skip a few. Right?
Yeah. Well, it's 3 songs just reprised 20 times. So.
Oh my god.
great movies.
Oh, I mean, yeah. So, well, like the thing that I'm thinking about doing next, and just
yeah.
after college and
Okay.
stuff. I mean, yeah, I mentioned to do a master's, but I'm just staying home, and I'm gonna actually spend time writing, because yeah, I write here and there, some stuff like that, but I don't have enough time to just focus only on writing. If I had like 1 week to just only write, I would do it in a heartbeat. So like, that's my plan, is to just work somewhere when I come back from college, just try to write music, see where it can go off, if it can, and
I
see what
feel
happens.
like
And then
if I just twist a word
it's not
of the
that teaching's a
question,
backup. It's just teaching is what I want to do in my life.
you can
But
only choose
if
one
I teach now,
content
that's a huge
for the
commitment.
rest of your life.
not
It's
that I
hands
don't
down
want to,
Star Wars for me.
but I
Because
don't
then you
want
get
to
all
have
the
to
books, you get all the novels,
retire
you
and
get
then
all the
finally want to
everything.
try to do stuff.
And
It's gonna be
Marvel
too hard.
obviously has comic books and all
So,
that stuff too. But
I feel like
I know I would
not
enjoy
at
the
least trying to get out there
the Star
more.
Wars lore
Um,
that builds upon it. I would probably pick Star. Yeah, that was a great
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, and I think like I mean, it also comes down to
some of
like
these questions are going
where
to get us in
God's
trouble,
leading
too.
me. Like
I don't know why
feel
we're
like
saving all the
God's
hard
leading me
questions to the end. So
be a teacher.
I'm just going to
but
bust out
maybe I'm
with
thinking that of
number
it differently.
12.
Maybe He just wants me to be an
One
influencer,
take
to
about a
influence
topic
people,
you
to
feel
give
so
people an
strongly
outlet
about.
to come to. I mean,
But I guess I could have
even when I'm going to be teaching,
strong take
the
on
reason
a
why I
dumb
want to teach
topic,
is that way kids
I
can come here
suppose.
and be like finding
Drinking and
music
driving. Why is it illegal?
finding a place that they might
No.
not have at home.
No.
So like,
no.
as long as I can influence people to be the way they want to be, or I don't know, stuff like that. It's not about
I mean, like
money. It's not about me.
and
It's
I'll be
really
honest
just
with
about will people enjoy
the
my
strongest
music. Like
thing I have
going to a concert
on
and
like
like
a hot
playing
take
music at a
about a thing,
concert and having a
I
bunch of
can't
people
say on
sing
the
back to
podcast
me
'cause
my words
can't
that
do
I've
it.
written.
Yeah,
It's
like,
not about
it'll be way
me
too
hearing
much.
that. That's not the selfish thing in me. It's them wanting to scream their voices out that loud. That's the fun thing for me. So that's like my idea, and I think that's
Yeah.
what is making it more fun for me, because I think a lot of people focus only on, well, I need to make money, and
Well,
then
I feel like
they
this
just don't
isn't
have the
this
life
isn't
they want.
controversial.
Like, I mean, yeah, Taylor Swift's probably happy.
There
She
either
just
needs
sold
to
a
be
$21,000 ticket.
Age
so,
limitations,
like, okay,
term limits, or cognitive
we won't
tests
talk about that hot
for
take. We won't talk about that
for
hot
government
take.
officials.
All right, same.
Because
There's actually a whole episode of the podcast.
yes, all of that. Because like I have so many patients, so many patients in my office that get evaluated for like dementia and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, they're young, yeah, like what is that? It's just asinine to me. We're not letting these people drive, but we have other exactly. So I'd say that's one that like I feel like a lot of people can agree with that.
Term limits and salary caps. You shouldn't be able to vote. Like, if I could vote to my salary, like, of course, who's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I vote to give me more money? Of course I do, right?
I think I have.
No.
but
I
they
already
all
have too
don't
much.
sound
Let's
any
give it to
different.
somebody else.
I mean,
Like, who is gonna vote no?
Yeah. All right, what's next?
yeah. Once we start on that,
Uh-oh.
Let's do another
I probably won't call it that, but yeah, it is. It's gonna be. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of work and takes a lot of time, but it definitely is fun.
Vehemently, if you will.
It's just like trying to figure out the ways to promote it, ways to get out there, and like I'm planning on getting more, but to get you means you need time. I don't have time, so we gotta. I'll get up on it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, thank you for having me though.
You know, it's just
Probably like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, that's a good.
Oh wait,
more
I do have one
religious
thing to say. You
standpoint,
may
but I
wanna
think
add this
it.
in, sorry. No, I'm
even
just
if
gonna go
you're not
back.
religious.
But the third song
But
on
I have no
Enjoy
idea
the
what that would
Journey
look like
is
because
actually
that would get
I wrote it
confusing
as
very
a
quickly.
a
that's mine.
symphony orchestra piece. That's how I wrote it.
I'm gonna ask you a question off the podcast,
And then that
now.
is a very
I'm
died
gonna ask you now
down
before I
piano
forget,
version
because it was
of
something
it.
Pastor Charlie
But
said.
I wrote it originally as an orchestra
Um,
piece that
he was talking
is
about
actually on
how
my
he doesn't
YouTube channel.
believe
It's the store video.
that,
But and that's like because my
once you're
inspirations
saved, you're
really
always
for like
saved.
music is Cody Fry,
that
Mario Posen,
that he
Corey
bel-
Wong, Stevie
Okay.
Wonder, John Mayer, hugely.
those that have fallen away
But
are
I mean,
worse off than if they.
I also have another symphony
Right.
orchestra piece
And
that I
like,
have.
he backed it up with like scripture
just
and everything,
haven't
but like I
recorded
know
yet, because it's
you
a
know,
lot
of people who believe
that's
you know,
a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
is set. It's just getting it to be recorded is one of those big projects. And when I'm doing the recording all myself, so it's a lot to do. So yeah, it's just wanted to make a note about that because people don't know that that's actually a symphony orchestra piece originally, and it's fun stuff. It's a lot of work, but like 80 hours on that piece. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
I actually had to log it because it was for an independent study.
All right, so we got some hard hitting some hard hitting questions out of the way there.
Yeah.
Let's lighten it up. Let's lighten it up. I think it's my turn. You just did the philosophy one, so I'm gonna go down. This was submitted
Yeah.
Anonymously.
Yeah.
In fact,
Yeah.
so you could have submitted questions to the website.
No, well, thank you so much
Has to be Zach Jenkins.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. That being said, on a very real level, Nate listened to the anxiety episode.
Yeah, that's cool.
He wanted to talk about a depression aspect of it. Reach out
appreciate it.
so to ask
Listen to
if he
Zach.
could come on and talk about it. Came on, and it's our second most
Listen to
listened
Zach.
to
Yeah, listen to
episode
Zach.
of the entire
all good.
podcast. So he's definitely is a favorite, and he told me that he is starting his own podcast, which I think is cool. Some again, same as me. He always wanted to but never did it, and then kind of like so. Zach's doing it. Like I can do it too. He doesn't have social media set up or anything. I believe it's the